Years ago, your independence wasn't allowed. Only good for cooking and cleaning up the house. Only known for being a housewife wearing gowns. Went from dependent to the most independent girl around. You're disciplined with your diligence, I respect that. Equal rights for the sexes, we all accept that. Random guys with her number, she might expect that. But if he's not on this grind, she might reject that. It takes a boss to date a boss lady. Got what it takes to date a boss baby. Yeah, grown sexy, that's a boss lady. Know how to carry yourself if you're a boss lady. Do whatever to succeed if you're a boss lady. You gotta practice what you preach if you're a boss lady. You gotta get it on your own if you're a boss lady. You gotta always hold your own if you're a boss lady.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Boss Lady News. I know you're going to have a wonderful show today. I have a wonderful show every time. I enjoy myself. I hope you do. We're going to speak with Eric Hall from WeResource Finance Group, LLC Finance Group. I'm excited because I got a chance to meet him through Justin Springer. Justin, you're always bringing me some awesome people. Also, we're going to run over to the RaHealing Center on Blue Hill Ave in Mattapan. You guys will get a chance to meet my Dr. A and find out more about her. We also have the beautiful sounds of my little girl, Miss NJioma Grievous, who's going to be performing our last 5 minutes, but you will get a chance to get a preview of her 2-minute performance, okay? We're going to get a chance to jump into some news right now. Today in news, I was able to find out from CNN reporting on Facebook media giant Mark Zuckerberg and his wife, Priscilla Chan, making a donation of $75,000 to a San Francisco hospital, the General Hospital's ER specifically, because Dr. Chan used to work for that particular hospital. And she quotes that working there for as many years as she did and finding out how little money and how little finances actually go into the ER, she thought it only right for her husband and herself to make this contribution. Both Dr. Chan and Mark Zuckerberg are very excited about the donation that they made because it's actually going to help with doubling the size of the ER and with tripling the amount of beds and seats that will be able to take care of the people. We all know that when President Obama first initiated his Obama health care program, it was to encourage people to get medical insurance and to get focused on their health. And unfortunately, there's still too many Americans out there that do not have health insurance. But they're still going to the ER because there's still medical issues. When the ER actually has more money, they can take in more people that do not have health insurance or don't have sufficient health insurance. So this was a huge donation made by Facebook. I don't want to say that it wasn't also for political positioning, but we all know where that goes. Next, in CNN News, in reference to money, now we're talking about the younger generation that is currently out and in the workforce. They are known as the millennia generation. We've got an increase in wage, and these millennia children are working, and those people are described as ages 25 to 34. They're currently potentially living at home still, but interested in buying houses or buying a condo. And with that and the increase in the wage, now there's more opportunity. So thank you first to the young people that are out there working and becoming entrepreneurs and creating their own work. And I do believe that it's a little bit crazy that we are rating our economy according to potential things to happen. I always want to make sure that you guys look into solar paneled power. If you go around the city of Boston, more and more homes are starting to get these large 7 by 5 foot solar panels. And those are really great for anybody who's interested in saving money on electric bills, saving money on gas bills, because a lot of that gets eaten up through electricity. And with solar power, you can actually save money on your bills. So make sure you look into solar energy and solar power for businesses and homeowners. In technology, Engadget reports that India, an Indian developer, actually created a panic button, and this is specifically for Uber transportation users. Apparently there is a woman that was living in New Delhi who reported a rape. And after that rape, the Indian representative developer created a panic button. So I encourage any of my people out there that are watching Boss Lady News, watching any kind of encouraging shows, to please have your children watch these shows also. We encourage you to look into technology. We want you to push these young people's minds and challenge them to create and develop apps as well. The world of technology is the increasing resource and financial support. If your child can develop something that can be used technologically, I'm sure you're going to become a millionaire just like a lot of other people. I'm not going to get too much into it, but the Pats won. Woohoo! Boston Patriots, the score was incredible. I didn't start watching until the third, but it was incredible, the catch that Butler made. I just want to bring that up because so much money was put into welcoming them back, and the parade, and the snow was moved, and oh my God, Mayor Marty Walsh was able to put it together so quickly because we didn't know they were even going to win. But all that money that was put towards moving the snow and creating that parade, some of that probably should have been put towards removing the snow that's also in the streets and making it difficult for our children to get to school. So if you look at social media, there's quite a few people out there that are wondering, where is our mayor's attention really going? And I ask you guys to make sure you stay focused and make sure you stay in the know about what's going on. We've got a great show for you. Next up is Mark Hall from WeResource, and we'll be right back.
The great outside. We both love the outdoors. So shiny. That's not a flower. We both love geology. Oh, look. An igneous one. That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife. A labradoodle. That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Thank you for tuning back into Boss Lady News. As you know, you can always contact me on any of my social media, or you can feel free to Google Boss Lady News. Now we're going to get a chance to speak with Eric Hall from WeResource LLC. Eric, you want to come on out here? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Please have a seat. So the first time I got a chance to meet you was down by the Salvation Army, the Kroc Center.
Yes,
and you were doing an event. But before we get into that, let's find out more about you. Are you originally from Boston?
Yes, I am. Born and raised. But I love being Mark, especially Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh. I called you Mark.
I'll take his
Eric.
money. Eric, that's fine.
Well, that's the potential of the millions of dollars that are coming,
you
right?
better believe it. You better believe it. Yes, I've lived in Boston all my life. So I'm born and raised here, born in Roxbury.
Okay.
Lived here. So I'm a native, so I was extremely excited when the Pats won. You better believe it.
Yes. Ooh, that catch was incredible.
Yes,
Why
it
did
was.
they throw it instead of running it?
I don't know. I said it before all the melee and everything happened. I said, with one, I know on that close, that young man Lynch would have ran it in.
Yeah.
He's a powerful running back, but at any rate, we won. That's
Yes.
all that matters.
We did,
is
we
that
did.
We won, so it was a great game. Had you on the edge of your seat for the entire game.
Like I said, I chose not to watch until the third.
Wow.
And I always do that because I don't like to anger myself
Of course,
while watching the
of course,
show.
of course.
So I was in the bathtub. Yes, some of my audience out there knows that I may contact them while I'm in the tub. I was in the tub, and I was waiting for the third, and then I came out, and then we won.
We won. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And it was a great night. Yes.
So with all of that, and you being from Boston, what got you into finance?
The irony was, me and my partners, we started a company, WeResource Holdings LLC. We started 10 years ago. And part of it was because all of the issues we saw in the community, a lot of the challenges with young people, a lot of it was around financial gain. Even when someone's participating in negative behavior, a lot of times it's for financial gain. And so we were looking at the violence and all the different things, and we're like, man, if we get a grip on finances and why some people are doing better than others financially, maybe we can get a hang on some of the issues that we battle with in our community.
That's right.
And over the years, we just started developing things, and we developed a camp for young people, and we taught them 2 forms of martial arts and finance. My partner, Du Bois, taught the martial arts. I taught the finance.
Okay.
And what was amazing, we didn't get paid for this. So the Mayor's Youth Fund paid the kids, and we just did it as a labor of love. Lo and behold, they went home, told their parents, and they're like, who's teaching you about mutual funds and investing and launching a business and real estate? And so because of that, the parents' desire to know how their kids was learning this stuff that some of them didn't know, we said, hold on. We had a eureka moment and said, hold on. We need to teach this to the adults as well. And part of it was from our own learning. You know, I didn't learn about wealth growing up because I didn't come from a wealthy background.
And many of us don't. It's not something, even in our youth, that was really discussed at home. People didn't talk about money.
Absolutely, because the adults, when I was a kid, the adults handled the money. We were kids. We go play. You know, we don't know anything about money. But in households where families are doing well, they teach kids about investing early. You know, so that was one of the challenges we saw. We said, man, if we can teach our young people how to make money the right way or a legal way, they wouldn't try to sell drugs or rob or steal or whatever. But then we also realized a lot of adults were struggling paycheck to paycheck because there was just enough coming in. Even if they were working, a lot of people was classified as working poor because when the money's gone, after you pay the bills, there was nothing left over. So we realized that we wanted to start learning about teaching about wealth. And wealth is a different conversation.
It is.
Because it's just you do different things with your money. You know, a wealthy person has the same 24 hours as a poor person. And so we really wanted to meet our community where they were because we were there. You know, we didn't know this stuff. So as we began to learn it and teach it, we saw people going from transitioning from being on welfare to launching companies. You know, young people coming out of DYS to starting their business. Men coming out of prison starting businesses. So we saw people's whole lives change where they learned that, wow, I can be in control of my financial future. Because most times we think it's the government. If the government's doing a certain way, we'll do okay. Or if things are in certain things are in line, we'll do okay. The reality is, if you get right within yourself, you can do well in any kind of economy.
And discipline.
With any kind of government, you can do well in discipline. So we began to teach that, people saw that they were now in control.
Yes.
And that's the biggest thing we do, is help people gain control over their lives, gaining control over their finances.
Yes. Before we jump into the bulk of the meat and potatoes of the conversation, I want people to know, how can they get in touch with you?
My company, WeResource, is myself and 2 other partners, Roosevelt Smith, who's out of Philadelphia, and Du Bois Marshall, who's here in Boston. But we have a website. Our website is WeResource LLC. That's We and Resource, one word, LLC.com. That's our website. You can go and you can learn about our company. You can also find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at WeResource LLC, on Instagram at WeResource. And we also just launched our WeResource TV on YouTube, so you'll get to see some interviews of entrepreneurs, folks who are doing influential things in the community, folks like yourself. We would love to interview you as well. So that's how you can find WeResource. So we try to be everywhere. And now that we have the social media platform, we can really get out to a broader audience.
Okay. We're going to cut to a brief PSA in just a moment, but I wanted to ask you, when it comes to financing and really building wealth, what are maybe the top 3 things that people need to know?
Well, the top 3 things that people need to know is that a boatload of money coming into your life won't change your life. Building wealth takes gaining new knowledge. A lot of things that I learned growing up, we had to relearn. So the first thing is that if you win the lottery or you hit the mega bucks, that's not going to equate to wealth, because most people that hit the lottery are broke within a few years. Even if you're an athlete or someone who has a skill that make you millions of dollars, a lot of athletes, 2 years after they leave that league, they go broke or they're working somewhere, they're filing bankruptcy.
True talk.
That's a knowledge thing, not a money thing. So one of the first thing is that money is not, your life won't change based on money. You got to get certain disciplines and knowledge in place. The second thing is you have to build revenues and revenue streams that bring money into your life, and you have to have more than one.
Okay.
So a boatload of money coming in, that's not going to make you wealthy, because you may have it for a while, but you'll lose it from lack of knowledge.
And the third thing?
The second thing The second thing, like I said, was, you know, you have to build multiple streams. And the third thing is you have to be committed to whatever you do, and you have to find something that you're passionate about.
Nice.
Find that thing you're passionate about, commit to it, and work even when you're not making any money, because if you build it, it will turn into something of value.
Nice. We're going to go ahead and cut to a brief PSA, and when we come back with Eric Hall from WeResource, we're going to find out more about building wealth. We'll be right back.
Alright, so tell me, kids, what does reading mean to you?
What we was embarking upon. We didn't know how big and how massive the need was, because we were looking at our own situation and everyone around us said, wow, this economic conversation is very real. And 10 years later, the monopoly is so real, we got to the point where we had adults playing the game with kids. So this is an actual product that we actually offer now, because we're able to have so many conversations about wealth building and wealth generation. We have adults, everyone from vice presidents of companies. We had the Boston police playing with our young people to really break that whole stigma of police and community. And someone said, I've never seen the police have so much fun. But they got to see our kids and the genius of our kids. Our kids are negotiating, they were debating. But to see young people in a healthy dialogue with professionals, VPs of companies, people, accountants, lawyers, CEOs of companies, it was just phenomenal to see that dynamic, but also to build those relationships which normally don't happen.
Absolutely.
So even to date, I'm doing some work over at the Kroc Center with a life coaching class, and I'm doing Monopoly for the financial piece, because it really helps people see that this is life.
Yeah.
You know, ownership is real. You know, so we teach ownership and stewardship. What's the difference in owning property and managing property? It's taking care of it for the owners. So we're able to have conversations around negotiation and things that normally don't happen in our community, because financial conversation is taboo in our community. When I grew up, my grandparents paid the bills. You know, I didn't know nothing about finance or economics. You know, I'm sure Dee was the same. So one of the things we realize is if we start this conversation, we can begin to shift the paradigm in our community and help our people understand that collectively we can build wealth. Because it's not okay for us to be doing okay, but why shouldn't you be doing well? Why shouldn't we help the next black business thrive and survive? So that's our attitude, is having unity back in our community, because as you know, the Oklahoma story, and it's funny, when I talk to adults, if you ask 10 adults, maybe one, if any, even know about the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing. So that's an actual conversation that our community don't even really know about. So just to bring light to that is phenomenal, because very few people know. And the hidden colors as well, I think, is phenomenal for every black person.
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. We are here with Eric Hall from WeResource, and we were just discussing what are the 3 top things that people need to know about building wealth. And you had mentioned that there was a camp. And during this camp, you were teaching the young people martial arts and finance. So how did you get into, or let's discuss youth and finance and wealth building.
Well, with youth, the interesting thing about youth is it's easier to teach them because they've not been beat up yet by life and bills and stresses and aggravations that some adults have been through, losses of jobs, houses. So young people, they're raw material. To me, a young person is like raw material. And they love learning new things. You know, like a kid ride a bike, you fall off, you get back up, try it again. You know, kids don't give up. And so with young people, it's very easy to teach the concepts. And we started by teaching them through the game of Monopoly, and we still use Monopoly today. A lot of people play the game and they love it, even though it can go on for hours. We started with the game of Monopoly. So we incorporated the game, we taught financial principles, definitions of finances, then we introduced the business plan competition or business concept competition, and at the same time they learned the martial arts. And we called it loot camp. So instead of boot camp, it was loot camp.
Okay.
You know, in the community we call loot.
Give me the
Loot
loot,
is money.
give me the
Loot,
loot.
you better believe it. That song might have inspired it, but it was called Loot Camp, and we got a great response. And that's what launched our company. Now, over the 10 years, we haven't really went back to Loot Camp, but we're really revisiting bringing that back out because it was phenomenal.
Yes.
And with young people, you know, when they see their ideas go on paper and turn into something that someone will pay them for, it's phenomenal. I remember early on, my son and his 3 friends, they were artists, and they formed a company. They went through our classes. They formed a company called, you know, Art from the Heart, and it was, you know, they were 12 and 11 years old, and their first contract was a nonprofit in Atlanta.
Wow.
Who paid them $500 for their artwork, and that artwork is on the website today.
Yeah.
So for them, that did so much for their confidence, for their belief, and they realized there was other ways to make money outside of doing something illegal or negative.
That's
so
right.
it builds belief, you know.
My oldest, she got used to, and now my youngest is starting to do it, but my oldest got used to coming up with ways to make money.
Absolutely.
You know, she's like, Mom, why don't we bring these books outside and have a book sale?
Absolutely.
Why don't we,
Absolutely.
instead of donating the clothes, have a yard sale?
You better
And when
believe
you go outside of the city, even in, I have to go out to Randolph every once in a while, you'll find homeowners actually having yard sales.
On a regular basis.
On a regular basis.
Absolutely. Because some folks look at it as, hey, instead of give this away, why not sell it for a markdown price and make a few dollars to do something? So,
Exactly.
And kids will always make you, when kids, they love money, so they'll always come up with ways. But what I find is that you said something earlier about our young people. Our kids, while they're great with technology, they're just participants until they start creating the apps. So those are the mindsets we try to get our young people
That's
to
right.
understand. Like, you're great. You can outdo me with technology, but you're not developing anything. So let's teach you how to develop the technology. You know, we had a group of kids, my partner took some kids, and they went to EA Sports, and all the kids wanted to stay downstairs to play the games at EA Sports. I think it was EA or one of the big companies, and nobody wanted to go up to see how the games were developed and created. And we realized that's a problem.
Yes.
They want to sit, they want participants. It's no different from adults being consumers and spenders and not investing and creating anything. So it's a mindset that we do pass on to our children. So we have to become owners, we have to become investors and show our children you can do that.
Yes.
So now, because of what I do, my daughter and I are writing my second book. You know, my second book is out, but me and my daughters, we're writing the children's version. So it's exciting to know that you inspire your children, and that's what we have to do. Adults have to take initiative and follow their own dreams.
Yes, that's
You know?
right. And speaking of adults, it's difficult to be an adult and have a young person give you an idea that sometimes you didn't even come up with or think about, and you don't know how to start it or do it, and these young people are like, well, come on, let's just go do it.
Right.
And we always, as adults, we say, wait.
Right.
We say, hold
Right.
on.
Right.
Because, like you said before, we've been beat up
Of course.
and hurt by life in
Absolutely.
general. So for some of the older people, and then I want to talk about this book also,
Yes,
because I don't
absolutely.
want to forget to
Absolutely.
make sure that we do
Absolutely.
bring this up. But for older people who are trying to build their wealth, what
Absolutely.
advice would you give them?
Well, I want to give an example first. We had a group of adults that we work with at Neponset Property, and these were all older individuals, over 65, and most of them on fixed income. They were so excited about what they were learning because not only did they realize they had more excess cash than they realized, but, you know, because they were on a fixed income, they said, well, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do bingo. I'm going to do that, this or that. They didn't realize that they can start investing in materials to teach the next generation, whether it was their children or a lot of them were raising grandchildren. Me being raised by my grandparents, you know, we was able to help them see that it's never too late to learn about building wealth, and they were excited to just pass the knowledge on, even if they didn't directly use it. But they were like, wow, if I knew this 20 years ago,
Exactly.
I would have been stopped doing X or whatever it was that took money out of there bank account, and what they could have did is put money back, but they were excited still.
Yes.
Because this information, they're like, wow, I'm sitting here at 70 and I never knew this. I never learned this. But now I know I can pass this on to my children and pass on to their children or to their grandchildren.
Yeah.
So it's extremely exciting, and we're glad we developed that ability to be able to convey it to seniors or older, more seasoned folks where they get it and they have a good time learning it. And they don't feel like they don't beat themselves up because they don't know.
Yes, and I just want to mention to all the adults out there that we as adults, we need to encourage this conversation of money with our young people. They need to have an understanding about where money comes from.
Absolutely.
And how they can make it. The allowance thing, we stopped doing that.
Absolutely.
But we need to do it again, because just like we have to pay for things, we can ask the kid, okay, well, it's your turn to pay for the toothpaste.
You better believe it. Principle 4 is learn how to add value. Focusing your life solely on making a buck shows a poverty of ambition. It asks too little of yourself, and it will leave you unfulfilled. President Barack Obama. All right. Principle 5, have a place to go. See it, say it, write it down. A person who aims at nothing is sure to hit it. Principle 6, know your money. Quote is, we can tell our value by looking at our checkbook stubs. Checkbooks is going out, but we still look at our bank account and tell our value.
So let's talk about Wealth Principles Handbook. Tell me about this book.
This book is this is our first product off the WeResource, and after 10 years, we've been teaching and educating in different states and different parts of the country, and people are like, y'all don't have a book, because we're always referencing great material. I love the PSA that just went off. I'm a huge advocate of literacy and reading.
Yes.
So we're always recommending everyone's book. Oh, read this book, read that book. And someone's like, y'all don't have a book. And we're like, we don't have a book. And we've been teaching these principles. The principles were developed, but we never put it in book form to market around the world. And so we developed these wealth principles over 5-6 years ago, and we've been teaching it, but we just released the book last December. And it's 10 wealth principles, and the phenomenal thing, it's in English and Spanish.
I just noticed that.
It's in English and Spanish.
It's in Spanish as well.
Absolutely. So if you speak Spanish, or if you want to learn Spanish, it's in the book. We have vocabulary words. We have some reference materials. We have just things in there. We want this to be a tool for people.
Yeah.
So we made it an easy read. So we wrote it with bullets, some questions, some quotes, so that people can begin the habit of reading, because the average adult don't read after they graduate high school. And when folks go off to college,
but they're on social media.
Social media, and they're experts on social media. So that's another thing. We're showing people how to use social media to build your business, build your wealth, how to learn. There's more on YouTube than fight videos. You can learn how to be a multi-billionaire from YouTube videos of billionaires sharing their story.
And we as adults need to encourage our young people to look these things up on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Start sending your kids to look up finance. Send your child to look up how to get a bank account, how to do a savings account, mutual funds. Have them teach you, but you're encouraging them to learn, and that's what we really need to do.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for coming on to the show.
Yes, I'm glad to be on the show.
And I'd love to have you on again.
Absolutely. I'd definitely love to be a guest.
Perfect. So we'll do like a mini workshop and get some of the audience members out to get a chance to ask you some questions. We're going to cut to a brief PSA, and when we come back, we are running over we're going to run out into the cold really quick, and we're going to go over to the RaHealing and Education Center on Blue Hill Ave in Mattapan. You're going to get a chance to meet Dr. A and some of the wonderful resources and services she has there, and learn more about curing cancer and curing diabetes. We'll be right back.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Kids will spend 8 minutes decorating their little brother.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Hello, I am NJioma Grievous. I'm 15 years old, and I will be playing the Courant from Partita No. 2 by Johann Sebastian Bach.
Hello everyone, and like I said, we were going to head down to Dr. A, and we're here at the RaHealing Center. I want you to find out more about her. I'm super excited to finally get her onto the show. She stays busy. She's got Moringa, she's got Immunical, and I know a number of you people out there, a number of my audience members that have been mentioning Dr. A and the RaHealing Center here in Mattapan, and well, now we're going to get a first-hand chance to find out exclusively what are some of the other services that are being held here. And I'd like you to know more about Dr. A. So, Dr. A, I really want people to know more about your degrees. So tell us a little bit about them.
Okay. So, let me show you our ego wall, I call it. And I call it the ego wall because you know, all my studies, people always ask me, you know, how I get started and so forth. But my story is, you know, once I healed myself, I felt it was important to take it to the next level and also learn how to heal others. But it was all about the certificates on the wall. Because when you get the certificate on the wall, then, of course, this makes you, you know, what we call it?
Established. Doctored.
Respected.
Yes.
In our community. Otherwise, you don't get the respect. I was doing this long before I got this certificate on the wall. You know, the certificates on the wall more like 13 to 15 years old. I've been doing this for 25 years. I went to the School of Natural Medicine. My naturopathic doctor, you know, at that time, she said, well, you're already a naturopath. And she gave me my certificate in 6 months. That was my very first naturopathic certificate, which was basic. So now I have Master Naturopathy. I have Master Herbology. I have Master Iridology. And I also have the Natural Physician. So the Natural Physician is a combination of all three in one. Okay, so once you get that, you're considered a doctor at that point, a natural doctor. I have also gone on from there to learn Reiki and the BTA testing, which is the testing of the biological terrain assessment, testing, understanding where the acid alkaline levels lie. I'm a colon hydrotherapist. I'm also a live food chef. You know, so you take it into whatever areas of expertise that makes sense to you. This is a far infrared heat sauna. Far infrared heat penetrates like 6 inches into the cell, so it's good for detoxing. You go in for a good 45 minutes to an hour, and it allows your pores to open. It also allows your cells to. The sauna, you're going to the steam, and this is the steam sauna. The steam sauna also has whirlpool. It has aromatherapy. It has the raindrop therapy. This is my baby right here. And I do this myself at least once a week, sometimes twice. And this is, people call it a spaceship. But this is my baby here. And so yes, it has the acupuncture jets that spurts out on each side. It has 2 shower heads, raindrop therapy from the ceiling, and then it has the aromatherapy. You can put your lavender or eucalyptus in, and then you go into the whirlpool and just relax and chill out and, you know, let the hydrotherapy take place. After we finish doing this part, we come into the massage area. Now this massage is a mechanical massage. It's always nice to have hands on, but to save time and energy, we also have a bed which actually does the massage for us. The bed itself also has far infrared heat technology. Next, I'm going to show you the colonic room. In this room is where we actually go through the process of detoxing your colon. So the other treatments were to lift up the lymphatic fluid. This one is to now release the toxins. So the colonic machine, for a lot of you that don't know what a colonic is, the colonic actually is the one thing that is used to pull down the toxins from out of your colon. We know that the colon is 25 to 30 feet long. So if you have a lot of backup and you're not going to the bathroom every day, it's very important to remove the toxins. So we use this machine to remove the toxins out of the body. It's a very safe machine. It is actually a medical device. I have over 10 years of experience doing colonics myself, and so very well qualified to do the cleansing. We've had 0 fatalities, so that's good to know. We've actually have no one that has ever been punctured, which is one of the so-called, people would say, well,
Concerns.
It's dangerous, and it's this and it's that. It's absolutely safe. We only use 100% purified water. It runs through a 3-stage purification system. So the water is absolutely safe, and it only takes 35 to 45 minutes for the process to be complete. We do recommend 3 to 5, depending on how bad your situation is. Some people need 20. But, the Bio2 also helps to loosen up the fluid. This is the kind of music that we also work with.
Your entire body. Allow your mind to remain in the void, that space between.
So when you're on the massage bed and when you're in the sauna, we give you a meditation to listen to. So again, it's all about mind, body, soul, and spirit to align your whole mindset. Are you ready to, have this type of healing to take place in your life? Are you ready for it? It is a mind conditioning. You have to be ready for it. Most people, by the time they walk in my door, they're ready. They're looking for a healing, a place to, heal. And so we've created this environment to make that happen. And I must add, it was all about me. It was all about me first, and it still is every day. You know, every quarter we do our detoxing. And I encourage everybody to get on the program, detox your body, heal your body, and you know, you never have a day of pain. I'm 57 years old, and I don't live with pain. I've never had diabetes, never had high blood pressure, never had high cholesterol. And when I did have the fibroid tumors, I knew what to do. Got them out my system. And that was over 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of the questions that I know some of my audience out there might have is, are any of these services, especially for young kids that might have diabetes, or for, you know, teenagers that are going through a lot of medical issues also, would you suggest any of these for them? Are these safe for the young people as well?
Even more so. The earlier you get started in this way of life, because it is a way of life, the healthier you'll be when you grow older.
Okay.
So absolutely, get your children in line, get them on the herbs, get them, you know, in the habit of eating the right foods, detoxing their body. And when I say detox for a child, it's just simply getting them, you know, on their fruits and veggies, you know, salad and water, taking the Immunical. Immunical is a everyday detoxifier.
Okay.
It's an intracellular detoxifier. So for children, it's completely safe.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you guys know that you can come here, you can ask any questions that you may have. I reached out to an old friend, you know who you are, and asked her some questions about being an entrepreneur, and she had let me know about the diabetes situation she was going through with herself and her child. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to ask you if this was also safe for children, because there's a lot of our young people that are out there that, you know, they're not eating right, and it's less expensive to eat unhealthy than it is to eat healthy.
You have to look at, you have to ask the question, why? Why do we have diabetes? Why do we have these ailments at such a young age? And it's in the food. Everything happens in the womb. First of all, if mother's toxic and sick, then the child is going to end up being also toxic and sick. Okay? That's why it's important to align yourself early before conception. All right? And when your baby's born, you will not have a sick child. It just doesn't happen. You look back in time, we didn't have these type of ailments when we were children. You know, a lot of this stuff that we're hearing of today, I've never heard of before in my life. You know, so now...
And it's many of the kids that are actually more sick than the adults, than the parents.
Well, because now we have generations of weaknesses, generation of constitutional weaknesses, and every generation is going to be weaker and weaker. Their constitution is going to be so depleted that you're going to need some form of a supplement like Immunical to build up your glutathione levels, which is the master antioxidant in the cell, by the way, that will keep you strong, your immune system strong, so that the body can heal itself. Okay? So all these ailments out here, my kids don't have none of this stuff. You know, I started them out very early in life, and they know what to do for themselves.
Good.
So you have to teach it. You have to teach it to your children. The school system is not going to teach it to your children. Your doctors, sorry to say, are not going to teach this, not only to you, but they're not going to teach it to your children. When you see the nutritional guide, most people, I would say 99% of the people that come through here have never seen a nutritional guide that's going to show you all the foods that are acidic, all the foods that are toxic, all the foods that are hybrids, all the foods that are GMO. You know, you don't get this type of education in school.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
You just don't find it. So you when you come here, I would say listen out and look out for a real education. That's why we're called the Raw Natural Health and Education Center. So you get 1 hour of education even before you get on the colonic bed.
There you go. And if you guys want to get any gift cards, just to kind of get yourself started, gift cards are available.
Absolutely. Gift cards, you know, gift certificates. Yeah.
I got a couple of friends, some gift certificates. I know they've used it. So you guys don't be afraid to get healthy.
And we're going to have great specials. You know, I tell you, when you first time people special is to come in and have a nutritional guide plan, bio-pulsar reading, the massage, and the chakra light, and your colonic all inclusive for only $99.
Wow.
That's first time people. Now, where else in the world are you going to find that, and especially in Boston?
So first timers, you've got a special here for you. And once you get started, trust me, this is a location that you will keep coming to over and over and over, especially anyone trying to lose weight. You guys will start to notice the difference. I know a couple of my other audience members out there that brought up the RaHealing Center when they were trying to lose weight. And they were like,
we've had people that went from a size 20 to a size 2.
Wow. Wow.
You know, it's all about determination and it's all about discipline. So, you know,
there goes that word again.
Discipline. Determination. Consistency.
We've got so many other things that I would love for you guys to make sure you come down here, meet Dr. A. Take a look at all of her degrees that are up on that wall. It's incredible. Ask any questions you may have and find out more. Once again, how can people get in touch with you?
We're at 1349 Blue Hill Avenue in Mattapan. And our phone number is 617-696-5505. Go on the website and visit us at RaHealing.com. All our services are listed there, and you know, feel free to shoot me an email or even check us out on Facebook. Friend us on Facebook.
Yes. If you guys are not able to find her on Facebook, feel free to go under Boss Lady News, check out my friends list. You will find her. Trust me. We're going to cut to a brief PSA. When we come back, now we're on to our last 5 minutes. I'm so excited. Once again, you guys are going to hear the beautiful sounds of NJioma and her classical music. You guys find out more about classes that are out there for young people, learning piano, learning the viola, learning how to play the bass, learning how to play keyboard, because music actually helps our young people when they are learning more about arithmetics, mathematics, and science as well. I'm going to hop into the spa. So we'll be right back, and then we'll be back in the studio. All right? You guys are tuned into Boss Lady News, and this is my Dr. A.
Yes. Dua'u, my sister. And Dua'u, by the way, means thank you.
Dua'u. I strongly encourage you guys to get a chance to come out here to the RaHealing Center and Education Center. I strongly encourage you guys to come on out here to the RaHealing and Education Center. It's on Blue Hill Ave. It's in Mattapan Square. First and foremost, support local business, support local movements, and find out more about how to get healthy. And the RaHealing Center, Immunical, this is one of the best places for you guys to be. Like I said, I'm going to jump in really quick, and when we come back, we're going to get a chance to hear more music in the studios. We'll get a chance to hear more from NJioma and her beautiful classical melodies. All right, guys, turn around, mind your business. I hope you guys had a wonderful show today. I had a wonderful show. You got a chance to meet Eric Hall from WeResource. If you have any questions in reference to your finances, please make sure you contact him. Him and my brother are the only two people I speak to in reference to my finances. Also, you got a chance to go over to the RaHealing Center, which is on Blue Hill Ave in Mattapan Square. We enjoyed it. Find out more about getting healthy and staying well. 2015, this is what we should be focusing on, is our inner body. It exudes through our outer body. Last but not least, you guys, I hope you loved the classical music that you heard earlier today by NJioma, and we're going to hear some more. NJioma, why don't you come on out here? How are you? Now, you've been playing classical music for a while now.
Yes, 10 years.
10 years. And what really encouraged you to get into classical music?
I'd say mostly my mom and my sister. My sister has played violin for a very long time before I started, and I was very inspired by her, and my mom has pushed me to become the best that I can. So.
And little does she know, I've got an interesting story about you. When you were maybe 6 years old, you sat down to a piano because you were listening to the radio, and you just instinctively started playing the song on the piano before you even learned how to play classical music. And so I love listening to you guys every time I get a chance to, and I'm going to go ahead and let you take it away. Okay? This is NJioma. She's my last 5 minutes performer.
Okay, I will be playing 2 pieces by African American composers. The first one is Here's One by William Grant Still. It was composed in 1941 and arranged by James Lee III for viola. The next piece I will be playing is the Blues Dialogue Fast and Funky Movement, which is a modern take on a blues theme. This piece was composed by Dolores White in 1986.